Part 62. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 611. What happened? Wang Yi was confused. The 8 corpses were lying on the ground, and they were dead. And above them, there was an ugly donkey floating. Wang Yi felt any demonic energy from the donkey, but all this told him that the initiator of the incident was the donkey. Qin Feng actually had such a terrible demon beast, which made Wang Yi dare not delay any longer, and he had the intention to retreat. At this time, he regretted very much. After he found Qin Feng and his party, he should have sent someone to inform Zhang Yan as soon as possible. Zhang Yan's order to him was to let him pay attention to Qin Feng's movements, and did not mean to let him take Qin Feng down. But he was very self-confident and thought that his strength completely crushed Qin Feng, so he made a decision privately and wanted to kill Qin Feng directly. As a result, all the people he brought died, and at this time, he was also stopped by Qin Feng, which made him panic to the extreme. Want to run? Can you run away? Qin Feng found that Wang Yi's momentum had dropped, which was obviously a retreat. His eyes were full of murderous intent. It was a dream to escape from his hands. Long Ma killed the 8 assassins, which completely stunned Wang Yi, and this also gave Qin Feng an opportunity. The reason why he fought with Wang Yi of the Assassin Divine Dynasty for so long was that he wanted to learn more about the secrets of the Assassin Divine Dynasty, so that he would have a better chance of winning when he faced the Assassin Divine Dynasty in the future. Originally, the assassins of the Assassin Divine Dynasty would flee as soon as they failed to kill the enemy. And Wang Yi, because he was too conceited and thought he was strong, did not leave, which threatened his own life. Die! Qin Feng snorted coldly, and the reincarnation sword technique slashed out. The sword light contained a mysterious avenue of the secret, and with a chi la sound, the void was shaking, and the terrible sword energy was surging. Dang! At this moment, Wang Yi used the immortal sword in his hand to hit Qin Feng fiercely. He wanted to escape with the recoil force. However, Qin Feng's 6 paths immortal sword, as a weapon of earthly immortals, was too sharp. His sword light swept across the sky and earth, and instantly cut Wang Yi's immortal sword into 2 pieces. At the same time, the recoil of the 6 paths immortal sword was too strong, and it pressed down on Wang Yi like a divine hammer, making his face pale to the extreme. Puff! Wang Yi could no longer bear it, and spit out a mouthful of blood in mid-air. His eyes were extremely incredible. Because he found that Qin Feng's combat power at this time had reached a new level, even if he was a seed-level killer of the Killer God Dynasty, he could not stop it. Puff! Qin Feng rushed past with his feet on the reverse immortal step, and Wang Yi's eyes were terrified, his pupils shrank violently, his face became extremely pale, and he foresaw his own death. Without any suspense, Wang Yi was beheaded by Qin Feng with the Samsara sword technique. The seed killer of the Killer Dynasty fell directly to the ground and became a corpse. Originally, Wang Yi had a chance to escape with his strange body skills, but unfortunately, he was too conceited and misjudged Qin Feng's fighting ability, so he ended up like this. After killing Wang Yi, a diamond scratch card appeared on the spot. Qin Feng picked up the card with mysterious steps. With the sound of the system prompt, Qin Feng got 8,000 Wuxiang pills, which was pretty good overall. After doing all this, Qin Feng joined Yeqing Cheng and the others, turned into a beam of light, and rushed to the Suzaku Holy Land. The Suzaku Holy Land is full of vitality and clouds, and it is a place of divine beauty. When Qin Feng and the others rode on peacocks and landed in the Suzaku Holy Land, it immediately caused quite a stir. Countless young monks from the Suzaku Holy Land came to pay their respects and see this legendary figure of the Suzaku Holy Land. After much difficulty, Qin Feng finally sent everyone away and landed in front of the palace prepared for him by the Suzaku Holy Land. Just as Qin Feng and others stood firm, a graceful figure immediately rushed out of the palace. She was like a dancing swallow, and instantly pounced on Qin Feng and gave him a big bear hug. "Wow, master, you are finally back. I miss you so much." Zhou Qing'er hugged Qin Feng tightly with her warm body. After not seeing him for dozens of days, the girl couldn't help crying and cried loudly. Qin Feng rubbed Zhou Qing'er's black hair lovingly. After not seeing him for such a short time, this girl actually missed him so much. It was worth it that he always loved her. Qin Feng thought so in his heart, and he nodded to Wang Shui, Zhu Xiaoman, and others at the same time. They were also very happy to see Qin Feng back, and they were all very excited. Wang Shui and Zhu Xiaoman were more reserved. Although they wanted to hug Qin Feng like Zhou Qing'er, they really couldn't do it in front of so many people. "Master, you've been gone for such a long time, I'm so worried about you." Zhou Qing'er cried loudly. She used the 1,000-mile sound transmission note to send a message to Qin Feng many times, but Qin Feng never responded to her. This made her more and more worried, and she was worried and scared all day long. At this time, seeing her master come back safely, she finally put her heart at ease. "Okay girl, I'm back now. Go and prepare some delicious food for the master, I'm hungry." Qin Feng looked at his cute little apprentice with red eyes, and he quickly ordered to divert the little girl's attention. Wuxin greets the master. At this time, the burly son Wuxin also came forward and bowed to Qin Feng. As Qin Feng's apprentice, son Wuxin's cultivation at this moment has reached the 4th level of Wuxiang. This progress is really uncomfortable. Of course, he can reach this level because Qin Feng gave him countless Wuxiang pills when they separated. Qin Feng patted son Wuxin's shoulder with satisfaction. This Tongbai ape has good qualifications. If he grows up in the future, he will be able to protect the peace of the Suzaku Holy Land. Qin Feng's return made the Suzaku Holy Land very lively, and all kinds of delicacies were being cooked. Soon, the palace where Qin Feng was located was filled with the aroma of meat and wine, flowing through the hill where he lived. Soon, the news of Qin Feng's return spread throughout the Suzaku Holy Land. Elder Zhu Luo, Kuei-sai Saint Xiaolun, Zhu Yishan, and others all came to Qin Feng's palace. All of these people became Kuei-sai holy sons of the Holy Land because of Qin Feng, and their status rose, and they were also equivalent to Qin Feng's faction. During the dinner, Qin Feng told them about his experience in the secret realm, which really made Zhou Qing'er, Wang Shui, and others tremble with fear. Qin Feng was particularly good at telling stories, and when he got to the exciting part, several people exclaimed. Zhu Luo, the elder of the Holy Land, was even more shocked by Qin Feng's performance after his return. Because he found that Qin Feng's strength had actually reached the 1st level of Wuxiang, and such progress was really too monstrous. "Holy Son, your cultivation has broken through to the Wuxiang realm." Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 612. Zhu Luo said in surprise, his eyes widened, his face full of disbelief. This had to shock Zhu Luo. When Qin Feng left the Suzaku Holy Land, he was only a cultivator in the Shenzhou realm. But in just over a month, Qin Feng's cultivation had actually reached the Wuxiang realm, which was really shocking to him. Although, with the help of Qin Feng's breakthrough pill, he had already become a master in the Wuxiang realm. However, facing Qin Feng at this time, he felt that he was deeply inadequate. In the flesh of the Holy Son Qin Feng, the blood and qi were as vigorous as a divine furnace, and his combat power was beyond his imagination. The elder has a good eye. Just a few days ago, I successfully broke into the Wuxiang realm. Qin Feng nodded. He became a master in the Wuxiang realm. In this Suzaku Holy Land, except for some living fossils, few people were his opponents. However, Qin Feng was still not satisfied. In the past, when he broke through the Great Realm, his martial arts skills would advance with him, but this time it did not, which made him a little regretful. As soon as Qin Feng finished speaking, Xiaolun, Zhu Yishan, and others present were all stunned. As the prodigies of the Suzaku Holy Land, their original cultivation was overwhelming Qin Feng, although it was their realm that was crushed, not their combat effectiveness. After they became quasi-saints, they also received the full training of the Suzaku Holy Land, and their combat effectiveness also rose. But now, Qin Feng's cultivation and advancement speed is faster than theirs. In just a few dozen days, he has become a cultivator of the first level of the Wuxiang realm. This advancement speed is like riding a rocket, which is really inhuman. Congratulations to the Saint Son for breaking into the Wuxiang realm. I toast to the Saint Son. Congratulations to the Saint Son, your combat effectiveness has soared again. The quasi-saints who came from the Suzaku Holy Land toasted Qin Feng one after another to express their admiration. They were able to become the quasi-holy sons of the Suzaku Holy Land and have such a status because of Qin Feng's support. In their minds, they had already regarded Qin Feng as the backbone and their leader. Let's raise a toast together. Qin Feng nodded, and he was in a very good mood looking at the team he had built around him. These people's cultivation had undergone a complete transformation, and they were his most staunch supporters in the Suzaku Holy Land. If they could grow up, they would definitely be able to stand on their own in the future Suzaku Holy Land. However, everyone believed that Qin Feng would be the future successor of the Suzaku Holy Land, but he was not interested in it. The Suzaku Holy Land could be his backing, but it could never restrain his steps. Once he became the next Holy Lord of the Suzaku Holy Land, he would have to worry about the Suzaku Holy Land, which would block his happy pace. His interest was to travel around the ancient continent, find some magical secrets, obtain extraordinary inheritance, and live forever. If the future of a holy land is placed on him, it will hinder his path to enlightenment, so he doesn't bother to care. Soon after, the banquet was over, leaving only some maids and servants, as well as those closest to him. When everyone left, Wang Shui, Zhou Qing'er, and Zhu Xiaomen all surrounded him. After not seeing each other for a long time, Wang Shui and Zhu Xiaomen looked at Qin Feng with affection and asked about his well-being. Only Qin Feng's little disciple Zhou Qing'er looked at Qin Feng with ill intentions, and then looked at Bing Yu'er and Bing Yaya. This made Qin Feng a little embarrassed, because he knew that the little disciple was questioning him with his eyes. Why did he accept two more outstanding twins, and they were twins? Bing Yu'er and Bing Yaya were both beautiful, and they were twins, with enchanting and charming figures, and they were two different temperaments. The two stayed beside Qin Feng honestly, and they were all shocked by this place. Their guess was correct. Qin Feng was really the son of a holy land. Humph, master is a playboy. Qin Feng felt a little speechless. He accepted them only because he felt sorry for them. He had absolutely no other thoughts. As for whether his little apprentice believed it or not, whether Wang Shui and Zhu Xiaomen believed it or not, he didn't know. At night, Qin Feng sat cross-legged in the palace to practice. He used the God King Wuxiang Gong to absorb the endless spiritual energy between heaven and earth to further deepen his cultivation. When he was in Yunyang Valley, Qin Feng's strength had reached the peak of the first level of Wuxiang. Now that he has returned to the Suzaku Holy Land, he has been influenced by the Dao Rime of the Holy Land, which makes him feel that his cultivation is on the verge of a breakthrough. In front of him, there are countless Wuxiang pills, flowing out of mist and haze, and endless moonlight falls, submerging the palace where Qin Feng is. Not only that, the Suzaku Holy Land is extraordinary and is a place where the earth's energy gathers. There is also a gathering spirit formation near his palace, with mysterious energy gathering towards him and flooding this place. As time passed, the Wuxiang Dan in front of Qin Feng was significantly reduced. Soon after, a powerful breath bloomed, allowing his cultivation to approach the Wuxiang and Wuxiang realms. When practicing to the state of Wuxiang, one can transform into a true Facian Xiangdi. It is rumored that the most powerful one can transform into 9 Dharma bodies, each of which has the full strength of the flesh. It's just that the duration is slightly shorter, otherwise it would be invincible. Similarly, once the Dharma body is damaged, it will have a certain impact on its own strength. The destructive power caused by Facian Xiongdi's transformation into a giant is also extremely amazing. Of course, this law of heaven and earth is completely different from the vision Qin Feng has, because the vision is essentially a kind of magical power, and its shape is fixed. And the law of heaven and earth is like the soul of cultivation, spreading to the top of the sky and the earth, and its appearance is exactly the same as its own, just like its own God. As time goes by, the energy light on Qin Feng's body is becoming more and more brilliant. However, when all the Wuxiang pills were consumed, Qin Feng still failed to break through the first level of Wuxiang, which really made him speechless. It seems that I have to use the immortal medicine rewarded by the system. Qin Feng was helpless. This immortal medicine is extremely precious. If you use one plant, it will be gone, because he only has one plant. However, in order to advance, everything is worth it. Buzz. Qin Feng waved his hand and took out the immortal medicine rewarded by the system after killing Kong Di. As the immortal medicine appeared, Qin Feng's palace exuded a strong energy wave for a while. Above the palace where he was, an image appeared, and a divine spring appeared in the air. And right where the divine spring flows, there are fairy flowers everywhere. One can imagine how abundant its spiritual energy is. Such a strange phenomenon in the world naturally attracted the attention of countless elders and monks in the Suzaku Holy Land. They were all stunned when they felt the image coming from the sky above Qin Feng's palace. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 613. Qin Feng sat cross-legged on the jade futon, surrounded by the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. He was refining the elixir with all his strength, hoping to break through to the two realms of the invisible heaven. In the distance, countless elders were alarmed. They were floating in the air and looking at Qin Feng's direction. They were all frightened. What's going on? Could it be that the Holy Sun has improved his level again? The Holy Sun's improvement is like drinking water. It's so irritating that people are so different from each other. In the Suzaku Holy Land, countless monks were all stunned, looking at Qin Feng's palace with fear and awe in their eyes. When Qin Feng was in the realm of divine illumination, he defeated all the younger generations of geniuses and was invincible. Even the deputy Holy Master was directly killed by Qin Feng. At that time, the opponent's terrifying strength was beyond their capabilities. Now, the opponent has broken through to the realm of the two realms of formlessness, and his combat power has become even more terrifying. I am afraid that no one in the Suzaku Holy Land except the living fossils can challenge His Majesty. At this time, even Zuyan, the Holy Lord of the Suzaku Holy Land, couldn't calm down in his eyes. With the presence of Qin Feng in the Suzaku Holy Land, they will definitely be able to protect their Holy Land for a long time in the future. Although he had just sat on the position of Holy Lord for a short time, he was already considering whether he should pass the position of Holy Lord to Qin Feng. In fact, Qin Feng had no such idea at all. Moreover, as Zuyan was the master of Saint Suzaku, it was impossible for Qin Feng to snatch his position as Holy Lord, because he had no interest in the position of Holy Lord at all. Buzz. Qin Feng, who was sitting cross-legged on the jade futon, finally broke through his confinement, and his strength reached the second level of Wuxiang. Immediately afterwards, the divine lotuses and divine springs near the palace were all turned into the purest essence, which was directly absorbed by him. Although the palace finally calmed down, Qin Feng couldn't calm down in his heart because he finally heard the long-lost breakthrough notification sound coming from the system. Ding, Congratulations to the host for breaking through the two realms of formlessness and improving his combat effectiveness. Ding, the Earth Immortal's martial art is the Reverse Immortal Step, which has been upgraded to the Earth Immortal's superior martial art, the Heavenly Immortal Step. Ding, the Earth Immortal's martial skill Heaven Shaking Seal has been upgraded to the Earth Immortal's superior martial skill Can Conceal. Ding, Earth Immortal's intermediate martial arts Phoenix Dance for 9 Heavens will be promoted to Earth Immortal's superior Phoenix Dance for 9 Heavens. Ding, all martial arts have been upgraded to the Earth Immortal superior realm. As the system prompted the sounder, Qin Feng's face showed joy, and his combat effectiveness finally improved to a higher level again. Although some of his weapons have not changed, as his realm becomes more advanced, the quality of the weapons will become more and more terrifying. The commotion in Qin Feng Palace finally calmed down, but countless elders and disciples have not yet calmed down from the shock. This is destined to be a sleepless night. It was late at night, and Qin Feng was ready to rest. He stood up from the jade futon and felt someone coming to the gate of his palace. No, no. Does this girl have any hidden agendas? Qin Feng's eyes condensed, and he felt that the person who came to the palace gate was none other than his young apprentice Zhou Qing'er. Master, are you asleep? As Zhou Qing'er's beautiful voice sounded, Qin Feng opened the door with a gentle smile on his face. Asking knowingly. Qin Feng rolled his eyes at his young apprentice, who obviously came to knock on the door after seeing the movement in his palace disappear. How could he be asleep at this time? He didn't know why this girl came to see him so late. I knew Master wasn't asleep. Zhou Qing'er's pretty face bloomed with a blush, looking charming. She went directly to Qin Feng's room and placed a covered dinner plate on Qin Feng's jade table. Master, it's so late, you must be hungry, so I prepared a midnight snack for you. Zhou Qing'er's watery eyes stared closely at Qin Feng, full of hope, but deep in his eyes, there was a hint of cunning. How can a girl like you make something delicious? Qin Feng showed doubts. Zhou Qing'er, a lady of the world, could make some delicious food even if she knew how to cook some simple food. Master, I learned this from a special master during the days you were away. Don't underestimate me. Zhou Qing'er heard this and stamped her feet dissatisfied. She had learned it hard for her master. It would be really sad if the other party didn't appreciate it. Real. Qin Feng didn't really believe it. He directly opened the lid of the dinner plate brought by Zhou Qing'er, and then there was a strange look in his eyes. The food on this plate didn't look very good, but Qin Feng felt that it didn't have any ingredients and seemed pretty good. However, the food actually had a strange taste, which made Qin Feng very suspicious. Brush. Qin Feng Dong observed carefully with his fiery eyes and found something was wrong. He looked at Zhou Qing'er with evil intentions. This girl had no good intentions no matter how he looked at her. Girl, is this the food you carefully prepared? Qin Feng looked at Zhou Qing'er speechlessly. This so-called delicacy was obviously a pair of big waists covered by materials. The little girl Zhou Qing'er actually said that the big kidneys are delicacies. The workmanship is far from good. It was obvious that she was fooling him. This meant something. Yes, I baked this myself, and the effect is great. Zhou Qing'er blushed, her eyes bulged, and she almost couldn't stop laughing. What effect? What's the name of your delicacy? Qin Feng glanced at Zhou Qing'er, embarrassed. He was so young, and he still needed this thing? What's more, the taste of this thing can't be called a delicacy. Ah, the master told me that this is called, the more you eat, the more capable you are. Zhou Qing'er looked at Qin Feng with a smirk on her face, and it was obvious that she was doing it on purpose. Take this thing away quickly. Qin Feng said unhappily, and just when he was about to serve the food to Zhou Qing'er, the girl ran out of the room first. Master, it's delicious, it's very helpful to you, you must eat it all, don't waste your disciple's kindness. Zhou Qing'er's big eyes narrowed into crescents, she giggled, Her big eyes were full of strange colors, and she ran away hopping. In the room, Qin Feng was left alone in the wind. For some reason, the wind blowing in from the palace gate was actually a bit cold. "Master, what delicious food do you have? Let me out." At this time, the voice of Longma sounded in Qin Feng's space. As soon as it heard that there was delicious food, it couldn't wait to come out and enjoy it. When Qin Feng heard this, he just wanted to deal with these 2 lumps of kidneys, so he let Longma out. When Longma saw the 2 skewers of kidneys on the table, he looked at Qin Feng suspiciously and said, "Where are the delicious foods that the master said?" Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 614. Isn't it on the table? Qin Feng raised his chin at the delicacies on the jade table. The energy contained in these 2 big kidneys was really good, but the taste was not very good. "That's it?" The dragon's horse looked suspicious. He stretched out his head and smelled the 2 big kidneys carefully. He noticed a strange smell. "Master, are you sure you are not lying to me?" There was a look of doubt on Ryoma's big head. This taste was definitely not delicious. "Of course, this can cure your kidney deficiency and make your hair and scales grow back as soon as possible." Qin Feng said seriously, "The more I look at this picture of a dragon and horse, the more I think of a donkey. It's really not good looking." "Real?" When the dragon horse heard this, his eyes suddenly lit up. In the past, its mane was shiny, its scales were shiny, and it was the most holy. But now, its scales are mottled and its mane is missing pieces. Many people regard it as a donkey, which makes it very unhappy. When it heard that these 2 big kidneys could cure diseases, it immediately raised its neck and swallowed the delicacies on the jade table. "It tastes so strange." Ryoma was suspicious for a while. These 2 big kidneys really didn't taste that good. Just when the dragon horse suspected that Qin Feng had lied to it, it felt a burning sensation coming from its lower abdomen. Soon, its back became itchy, and some golden red mayonnaise actually grew. "Aer, it's really effective, thank you master." Ryoma was overjoyed when he saw this. Although the taste of these 2 big kidneys was not very good, they were really curative. "Does the master still have it?" The dragon horse was very happy. It grinned widely, revealing 2 rows of big white teeth, and the grin almost reached behind the ears. "Here I go, it actually works." Qin Feng was surprised. He didn't expect that these 2 big kidneys were really effective. The super chef Zhou Qing'er seemed really extraordinary. "That girl Qing'er did it? I don't have it here." Before Qin Feng finished speaking, Long Ma disappeared in a flash. In front of the room where Zhou Qing'er and others were, Long Ma's wretched figure appeared. "Master Qing'er, are you asleep?" Ryoma carefully communicated with his spiritual thoughts. He knew that this girl's status in his master's heart was one of the most untouchable beings in his heart. "No, what's wrong?" Zhou Qing'er asked in confusion. "Why did master's dragon and horse come here? Could it be that something happened to master?" "It's like this, the master said that the food you just made was delicious, so he asked you to help him make a basket." Ryoma opened her eyes and told lies. She originally meant to tell the truth, but as soon as she thought about it, she changed her mind. With this girl's character, once she hears that Qin Feng wants the food, she will definitely be very interested in it. "Really?" Zhou Qing'er's eyes showed suspicion. Qin Feng's eyes were disgusting at first. Why did he change his mind? The dragon horse's heart skipped a beat when he heard this. It noticed the confusion in Zhou Qing'er's words and said, "That's it? The master asked you to prepare it tomorrow morning, but he is too embarrassed to come. So that's it, I know." Zhou Qing'er was very excited, but she also had hidden worries in her heart. Could it be that master? "I'm going to report it to the master right now." After receiving the answer, Long Ma quickly ran back to Qin Feng's palace. How about it? Qin Feng asked when he saw Longma coming back. In his opinion, his little apprentice would definitely find it troublesome if he knew it was Longma who ate it, and he would definitely reject this guy. Master Qing'er told me to prepare it tomorrow morning. Ryoma said with a wide grin, his mouth almost reaching behind his ears. Although he was in an animal form, the joy in his eyes could not be concealed. This made Qin Feng doubtful. Is that little apprentice girl actually so easy to talk to? After a night of silence, Qin Feng woke up from his trance in the early morning. Bingyaya and Bingyuer were already waiting in front of the door. Although Qin Feng had refused in every possible way, the two girls were very serious and came on time every day to help Qin Feng wash up. Qin Feng and Chu Yu had no choice but to agree. Being served by two saints from the Ice Spirit clan, this was not something ordinary people could enjoy. After finishing everything, Qin Feng was stunned when he looked at the food on the jade table: sea bass, scallops, oysters, lamb kidneys. This. Qin Feng was speechless for a while. This girl only prepared for Longma, how could she fill the table for herself? Master, these are all prepared by Sister Wang and I, please try it quickly, they are all great tonic. Zhou Qing'er has a smile on her face. The master will definitely be very happy with the delicious food on the table. In the palace, countless maids and attendants all looked at Qin Feng with strange eyes, feeling incredible. With our master's cultivation level, can we use this food? Didn't you see that there are so many beauties around the master? He is a master of time management at first glance. It makes sense. There are so many beauties. No matter how strong a monk is, he can't withstand them. Some servants were talking in low voices, which made Qin Feng have a dark look on his face. Girl, what's going on? Qin Feng glanced sideways at Zhou Qing'er. This girl is not very authentic. Ah, master, isn't this the delicacy you asked us to prepare? Sister Wang and I learned from the stunt cooks in our holy land. Yes, the cook said that this is all the holy master will eat, and all the 20 or so concubines can't stand it. Wang Shui and Zhou Qing'er whispered to Qin Feng, so that the words would not be heard by others and make Qin Feng embarrassed. Little did they know that the scene in front of him made Qin Feng very embarrassed. His cooking skills were very good, but these foods were easy to be misunderstood. Did Longma say that? Qin Feng's eyes turned and he instantly understood all the reasons. Is it you? Qin Feng sent a message to the guy hiding at the door, and only got a hee-hee response. Hurry up and get in and eat all of these. Qin Feng said with a dark face, which was simply damaging his reputation. Longma rushed into the palace after hearing this. This table was full of this tonic food, the meat was tender, Longma felt like his whole body was burning like fire, which could really strengthen people's spirit. Comparable to elixir. Qin Feng's eyes condensed, and he found that Longma's own spirit became unusually vigorous and full of vitality. After dozens of days and thousands of years, Longma was seriously injured in the battle with Rong Mama, which caused its body to degenerate. Although he later used dragon blood and immortal medicine to make it reach the state of a great king, it still had a loss of blood and qi, and needed to be properly conditioned. Now, this huge amount of tonic food has a great effect on Longma's qi deficiency, which gives Qin Feng hope. The system once rewarded him with some special cooking materials. Those materials are of extraordinary quality. If he makes delicious food, Longma will definitely recover. Then he can ride Longma to destroy the assassins of Yan State first. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 615. Seeing the dragon and horse feasting happily, the people in the palace suddenly realized. It turns out it's the owner's mount that needs repairing. I just said that with the master's cultivation, how can he need such a powerful food? The master's majesty is unparalleled and his physical strength never tires out. Oh, that's not right. Why didn't I hear that you just said that? In the palace, there were some low-pitched discussions, and the tone had completely changed. On the jade table, there was a dragon and horse in the wind, and countless food was poured into its mouth, and most of it disappeared in the blink of an eye. At this time, Zhou Qing'er finally realized something was wrong. The reason why she and Wang Shui cooked such a table of delicious food was entirely because her master wanted to make up for it, so they had been busy all morning. But at this moment, why is Longma's mount so cheap? Little monster, what's going on? The more Zhou Qing'er thought about it, the more something was wrong. She looked at the dragon and horse feasting on each other maliciously, with a cold light in her beautiful eyes. If this guy didn't give her a reasonable explanation, she wouldn't mind ripping off the dragon and horse. Belch. The dragon horse burped, and Zhou Qing'er looked at it with fury. She knew that Qing'er's master ranked first in Qin Feng's mind. Similarly, Qin Feng was also ranked first in Zhou Qing'er's heart. He chuckled and felt his heart tremble. Master, help me. Longmo looked at Qin Feng as if asking for help, thinking about Qin Feng's voice message, and wanted Qin Feng to help him out. Girl, I made it say that. It's too ugly to look like this now. The delicious food you made has a miraculous effect on it. When Qin Feng thought of how this guy became what he is now in order to save Suzaku and Yeqing Chen, he felt a little soft-hearted. If it weren't for Longma's presence, Yeqing Chen and Suzaku would have been in danger. Qin Feng was still very satisfied with this guy. Although Ryoma's strength has reached the realm of a king, it has not yet fully recovered. That's it? Zhou Qing'er puffed out her cheeks and said, if the dragon horse can return to its handsome state, when they ride it swaggering through the city, it will be even more extraordinary and eye-catching. Let's all eat, and then we'll go hunting. Qin Feng said that he suddenly remembered that the system had given him some materials. All those materials have miraculous effects. If you catch some rare birds and beasts in the mountains around the Suzaku Holy Land and make them into medicinal meals, you might be able to cure Ryoma's hidden diseases. Soon after, Qin Feng and the others came to the mountains hundreds of miles away from the Suzaku Holy Land. This mountain range is extremely beautiful. According to legend, it was a hunting ground that was moved by an ancestor of the Suzaku Holy Land thousands of years ago through great means. Among them, there are countless rare animals, making it an excellent hunting ground. He arrived here with everyone, surrounded by a group of warblers and swallows, which was so beautiful. Zhou Qing'er, Yeqing Chen, Wang Shui, Zhu Xiaoman, Zhu Ke, Bing Yuer, and Bing Yaya all followed, wanting to see Qin Feng's craftsmanship. Soon after, Qin Feng and the others hunted a large amount of food, including chicken essence from the phaseless realm, goats from the divine realm, etc. All these foods were turned into delicacies under Qin Feng's hands. Qin Feng sprinkled the special seasonings rewarded by his system with extremely skillful movements. These ingredients all possess powerful mysterious energy, which makes this place fragrant and spreads far and wide. Even Bing Yuer and Bing Yaya, girls who don't like eating meat, joined in the fight, completely ignoring their own image. The materials previously rewarded by the system were indeed extremely extraordinary, pushing the energy limit of the ingredients to the point where they melted in your mouth. Soon, several people broke through the realm barrier, and a terrifying aura erupted from their bodies. Feeling that everyone was breaking through the realm one after another, Qin Feng could only feel envious. In his body, the divine power was like a mountain and a sea. Such medicinal food had no effect on him at all. Soon, the dragon horse also hunted a large number of prey. It stared at Qin Feng with a human face. After eating the cooked food cooked by Qin Feng, it could no longer eat raw food. Soon, the sound of sizzling goods was heard, and the smell of someone's meat spread far away, attracting more exotic ingredients. In half an hour, the dragon and horse swallowed countless amounts of food here. These prey were all supplemented by Qin Feng with precious medicinal materials. Finally, the energy in the dragon horse's body began to change qualitatively, and its whole body became radiant. This change lasted for a full day and night. During this short period of time, Qin Feng was observing Long Ma's movements. If there was anything wrong with the other party, he would be ready to ban Long Ma as soon as possible. As for the others, they all lived in Qin Feng's Ruyi Palace and did not sleep in the open air. Finally, when the sky was just dawning, the divine glow began to flow around the dragon and horse, becoming extremely sacred, and it began to transform. Roar. In the afternoon, a roar came, and the boundless dragon energy radiated hundreds of miles around. At this moment, the dragon and horse were surrounded by fire, blooming with monstrous dragon power. After a few days, Long Ma regained his sacred qualifications, his body was as big as the sea, and his cultivation was astronomical. As Qin Feng's trump card, Long Ma took it into his own space and allowed him to continue practicing and consolidate his cultivation. Afterwards, Qin Feng and the others rode peacocks and cranes and flew away in the air, preparing to return to the Suzaku Holy Land. After traveling for dozens of miles, they saw a wounded white deer. This white deer is also a top-grade food, but Qin Feng and his friends had lost their appetite, so they gave up and left. After walking for dozens of miles, countless young monks suddenly appeared in the mountains ahead. Those monks were both male and female, and they were obviously some children of aristocratic families, who were out for an outing or hunting. Mr. Wu, if we go further, we will reach the territory of the Suzaku Holy Land. That Holy Land is not easy to mess with. Let's go back the same way. A young monk said to a young man who looked like a leader beside him. When they were chasing a white deer, they came to the territory of the Suzaku Holy Land. As a legendary ancient Holy Land, the Suzaku Holy Land is very powerful. It is located in the south of the Great Yan Kingdom. Although it does not occupy a large area in the north of Yan, the Great Yan Kingdom does not dare to underestimate it. The white deer has been injured by us and can't escape far. It would be a pity to go back now. The white deer is extremely rare. It would be a pity to miss it. What's more, we are just chasing a wounded prey, not provoking the Suzaku Holy Land. There are also other young monks in the field who disagree with the idea of returning the same way. Qin Feng, the new saint of the Suzaku Holy Land, is the best of the young generation in Yanbei. A spy found out that Qin Feng returned to the Suzaku Holy Land. He is a troublemaker. If you meet him, it will be troublesome. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 616. These people are all young and handsome men from the Great Yan Kingdom in Yanbei, and their emotions are also high. But now that they heard Qin Feng's name, they still felt frightened. The thought of what Qin Feng had done made them feel a little scared. The second prince in the imperial city has reached heavenly cultivation. He was deposed by the holy son of the Suzaku Holy Land. We'd better not provoke him. On the side, Jinye from the Prince Jin family said that he was Jinye who was frightened by Qin Feng's power at the Tianjiao event not long ago. Beside him were Lan Qi from the Lan family and Lan Yu, the pearl of the Lan family. One can imagine the noble status of these people. What are you afraid of? Qin Feng is just a monk in the field of divine light. He was slapped to death with a slap. At this time, a prince's heir said disdainfully that his cultivation level reached the sky and was among the best in Yanbei. His father had been leading troops for the Yan Kingdom. Now he heard that the second prince was seriously injured and had no cultivation at all, so he brought their miracle doctor from the border to diagnose and treat the second prince. As the son of a prince of the Yan Kingdom, he grew up on the frontier and loved delicious food the most. This outing was for some of the proudest men in the Yan Kingdom to take a trip. In his opinion, the second prince suppressed the enemy with great power, but was deposed by the holy son of the Suzaku Holy Land. His reputation was just in vain. Brother Wu's words are too much. When Jinya heard this, he shook his head. Qin Feng was so powerful that he had never seen before in his life. Wu Ling glanced at Jinya and said coldly, "Brother Jin, you are scared out of your wits. If you gain other people's ambition, you will destroy your own prestige. If you encounter Qin Feng, it will be easy to kill me." Lan Yu on the side heard this and shook her head without any trace. Although this man was the descendant of the Prince of Yan, he was different from those who grew up in the capital. He was used to seeing iron and blood, and his fighting power was indeed extraordinary. Unfortunately, it was too much. Arrogant. Qin Feng is so strong that he is simply a monster. The opponent is only in his 20s, but his combat power has already crushed the number one young man in Yanbei. Why does Smofet think what I said is wrong? When Wu Ling saw Lan Yu's expression, his heart moved. Lan Yu had bright eyes and white teeth, and a charming figure. If she were an ordinary girl, he would have forcibly rejected her as his own. It's a pity that the other party's status is not weaker than his, so he can only pursue it honestly. Recently, the seventh Prince Yan Yun is wooing his father, which gives him hope. This time, the Lan family of the seventh prince's line asked Lan Yu to prepare this party in order to help Yan Yun. Qin Feng cannot be understood by ordinary theory. Although the opponent is young and of average level, his combat power far exceeds that of ordinary princes. Even if Brother Wu encounters him, I am afraid he will not be able to gain any benefit. Lan Yu's beautiful eyes sparkled, and when she talked about Qin Feng, she felt a little strange. For some reason, the other person's slender figure kept lingering in her mind. Suddenly, Lan Yu noticed that a pair of monks were flying over from the distance. The more they looked at him, the more familiar they looked, and they were stunned for a moment. Wu Ling was furious at this scene. He had been ignoring her, but Lan Yu was actually mentioning Qin Feng's food with such high spirits, which made him very dissatisfied. What kind of saint Qin Feng? If we meet him, I can slap him to death. Wu Ling said arrogantly, not seeing Qin Feng take him seriously at all. He has reached the second level of the princes at a young age, no wonder he is so proud. At this time, Qin Feng and others happened to ride a peacock to the sky above the mountain. He had sharp ears and golden eyes, and he immediately heard the disdainful comments below, and not only glanced at the young man. The other person is tall, with an extremely cold look between his brows. At first glance, he looks like a very conceited person. Qin Feng was too lazy to pay attention to the other party, but he saw a few familiar people among the people below. Moreover, Lan Yu, the jewel of the Lan family who is very close to the seventh Prince Yan Yun, is also on the list. When Qin Feng saw Lan Yu, the other party also raised his gaze and looked at Qin Feng. For a moment, their eyes met each other. If they pretended not to see her, it would be too much to say. There was no other way. Qin Feng, out of politeness, led everyone to land in the mountains. "Miss Lan, long time no see." Qin Feng said with a smile, and behind Qin Feng, some beauties who had met Lan Yu a few times quickly bowed and said hello to each other. "Brother Qin, how are you doing lately?" Lan Yu's eyes lit up when she saw it was Qin Feng. She gave Qin Feng a slight salute with a smile like a flower. "Master Qin, you messed up the entire imperial city, and then walked away, leaving a mess for me." Lan Yu chuckled, pretending to be resentful in her eyes. She had already learned the news about Qin Feng's return to the Suzaku Holy Land from the secret realm. Princely and aristocratic families like them cannot take a sacred place like Suzaku lightly. There are no fewer than hundreds of people paying attention to the movements of the Suzaku Holy Land. The news of Qin Feng's return has already been passed back to the mansion by their informants. This time, Lan Yu led everyone to hunt. She never thought that she would meet Qin Feng so far away from the Suzaku Holy Land. "Miss Lan, what you said is wrong. Mr. Qin, have always valued peace and advocated that I will not offend others unless they offend me. The previous disputes were all because the other party bullied me, and I just fought back legitimately. Qin Feng smiled faintly and his expression was extremely calm. At the last grand event hosted by Lan Yu, he directly deposed the second prince of the Yan kingdom, causing an uproar. This is the first time I have seen the seventh prince Yan Yun's faction since the last separation. It seems that the seventh prince wants to win over young cultivators and build his own team. However, his grievances with some people in the imperial city of the Great Yan Kingdom have reached a white-hot point, and I am afraid that he can no longer be on good terms with the seventh prince. Of course, with the power behind Qin Feng, he is naturally not afraid of the Great Yan Kingdom, although the Great Yan Kingdom has been established for thousands of years and has a deep foundation. However, their Suzaku Holy Land also has an extraordinary foundation. The strength of a holy land is comparable to that of a country. If the Holy Land and the Great Yan Kingdom really fight, it is likely that the people of Yanbei will suffer. Therefore, in order to deal with Qin Feng, some people in the Great Yan Kingdom can only use means secretly and will not take the risk of offending the Suzaku Holy Land. The appearance of Qin Feng and others immediately attracted the attention of all the young cultivators present, and Lan Qijinyi and others who had seen Qin Feng earlier hurriedly greeted Qin Feng. All of them were trembling with fear. Qin Feng's figure had already taken root in their hearts, making them feel like they were facing the might of heaven, without any resistance. Only Wu Ling, who was at the front, had a murderous look in his eyes. Beside him, there was a powerful divine power fluctuating. He stared at Qin Feng, who was feared by everyone, and his fighting spirit soared to the sky. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 617. Are you Qin Feng? Wu Ling's eyes sparkled, and he stared at Qin Feng with a hint of pride. Good. Qin Feng looked at Wu Ling with interest. He was not prepared to pay attention to the other party's words. However, now that he is face to face with the other person, he definitely cannot coddle him. I heard that you are the holy son of the Suzaku Holy Land, and you directly deposed the second prince of Dian Kingdom. You are really arrogant. Wu Ling was surrounded by many monks. Like the stars over the moon, he looked extremely cold and arrogant. The young monks around them were stunned when they felt the strong smell of gunpowder between the two. Both Qin Feng and Qin Feng were cruel people. If they really fought, it would definitely cause an uproar. Why did I just hear that you could kill me with just one slap? Qin Feng was only a few dozen feet away from Wu Ling. He stared at him calmly, calm and calm. I can't kill you without raising my hand. Wu Ling is the heir of a prince on the border of the Yan Kingdom. He is extremely conceited. He has already stood on the second level of the princes at the age of less than 30. He is a veritable strong man and very proud. Oh, so you are more powerful than Yan Yu. Qin Feng glanced sideways at Wu Ling. His face was very calm, and he didn't seem to take Wu Ling in front of him seriously at all. As soon as these words came out, Wu Ling's face suddenly turned bad. Qin Feng was comparing him to the second prince Yan Yu. As we all know, the second prince Yan Yu has a noble status and extraordinary strength. He has few opponents in the imperial city. But such a master was completely destroyed by Qin Feng. Qin Feng was comparing him to the second prince, who would also be destroyed. The monks around him heard this and knew that Qin Feng was comparing Wu Ling and Yan Yu. People's eyes showed great interest. As the heir of a prince, Wu Ling always kept his eyes on the top and looked down on them, the geniuses of the imperial city. However, the other party does have the capital to be proud of. As the heir of a border prince, his fighting ability is extremely strong. He is ranked in the top 10 among the geniuses of the Great Yan Kingdom. Everyone present didn't like Wu Ling, but they didn't want to offend him directly, so they participated in this hunting party. At this time, seeing Wu Ling actively provoking Qin Feng, they all looked to the side, secretly waiting for the show to begin. Prince Wu Ling is known as one of the most outstanding geniuses in the Yan Kingdom in the past century, and his strength has reached the level of the princes. According to rumors, even if Yan Yu met Wu Ling, he would not dare to drag him down. Many monks talked a lot and spoke highly of Wu Ling. It was obvious that these words were also meant for Qin Feng. Wu Ling was only 30 years old. As a son of a prince, he was very different from these young men in the capital. He grew up in the frontier, surrounded by hundreds of thousands of mountains, which were extremely dangerous. At such an age, he was able to grow into the realm of princes because he had received some extraordinary fortunes in the 100,000 mountains, and of course his talent was also extremely extraordinary. Wu Ling listened to the praises of countless monks around him. His face was filled with pride. It can be said that there are very few people in the Great Yan Kingdom who have such proud cultivation at his age. At this moment, the atmosphere here was extremely solemn. Many people looked over, feeling the smell of gunpowder here, and they all sensed the tense atmosphere. Qin Feng, do you really think you are a person? How dare you underestimate me, the Great Yan Kingdom, and now that you are in front of me, I don't mind teaching you a lesson myself. Wu Ling responded calmly, with fighting spirit soaring in his eyes. Around him, halos of energy surrounded him, making him look like a god of war, which was extremely extraordinary. Haha, it's not up to you to decide whether I am a person or not. I didn't want to be acquainted with you, but now it seems that I have to dampen your spirit and teach you a lesson for your family. Qin Feng motioned to the girls behind him to keep them away. He rose directly into the air and came to Wu Ling. You want to teach me a lesson? When Wu Ling heard this, his nose was twisted with anger. The meaning of the other party's words was that he was treated as a junior, which he couldn't bear. Crack! Wu Ling raised a palm, and his palm was covered with dazzling light, like a blood diamond, crystal clear, and he suddenly shot towards Qin Feng, with astonishing power. At this moment, all the monks around them gathered their eyes, and the battle between the two suddenly happened. Of course, this is not surprising. It was expected that a conceited being like Wu Ling would collide with Qin Feng, just like the tip of a needle clashing with wheat. Boom! Qin Feng was happy and fearless. He also raised his palm and struck forward, giving the opponent a hard blow. Between heaven and earth, a thunder resounded throughout the entire place, sending out terrifying ripples that completely submerged the place. What a terrifying strength! Wu Ling is no weaker than the second Prince Yan Yu. It is rumored that Wu Ling is an invincible fighter in the army. He should not be underestimated. With such terrifying strength, maybe Qin Feng can really be killed in his hands. Countless people were amazed and talked about it. Yan Yu has always been called the leader of the geniuses of the Yan Kingdom. Countless dandy boys have compared him with Yan Yu, including Wu Ling. Although the two of them had never fought, they were always considered to be inferior to Yan Yu, which he couldn't accept. In his opinion, how could a person whose cultivation was ruined by Qin Feng in the Earth realm be compared with him? Boom! Qin Feng just came into contact with Wu Ling, and the energy waves that were shaken out completely submerged the place. This was too terrifying. The monks watching here did not dare to confront him. They flew into the air, vacated the venue in an instant, and stared at this place from a distance. When the light dispersed, everyone present was stunned and could not help themselves. Originally, in their opinion, Wu Ling's strength was so terrifying that Qin Feng would not be able to get any good no matter what. However, Qin Feng's Taoist robe fluttered in the field, and he was extremely calm in the air, without the slightest ripple. On the other hand, Wu Ling retreated more than 10 meters away, his face became sallow, covered with beads of sweat, and his entire palm became a mess. How is it possible? Qin Feng is more terrifying than when he fought with the second prince. Lan Yu, Jinya and others all showed strange colors. Qin Feng's combat power at this time was more powerful than when he fought with Yan Yu, which made them have to be surprised. You know, in just a few dozen days, Qin Feng has crossed a great realm and become a master of the second level of Wuxiang. This strength makes people dumbfounded. You cheated. Wu Ling's face was pale, and his entire palm was broken by Qin Feng. No one was as surprised as him. He couldn't understand it at all. Using his king body to face Qin Feng's palm was like hitting an iron lump. Not only did he not shake the opponent at all, but his palm was directly broken. He couldn't accept it. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 618. The mountains were completely silent, and everyone was looking at the scene in shock. Qin Feng had severely injured Wu Ling's palm with just one blow, which shocked them. Didn't you say you wanted to teach me a lesson? It seems very difficult. Qin Feng's mouth curled up with a hint of mockery, and a powerful divine power wave flowed through his body, exuding a terrifying aura. As a cultivator of the second level of Wuxiang, Qin Feng's cultivation level has reached the peak of terror under the blessing of the 9 prohibitions, and he is extremely powerful. Cheating, what kind of cheating am I playing? Qin Feng stared at the other party calmly and said, facing the cultivator of the second level of the princes, he would not cheat. Your combat power is not right, it can't be the second level of Wuxiang. Wu Ling's face showed a ferocious look, he felt insulted. Qin Feng's cultivation level was the second level of Wuxiang, and it was not in line with common sense to advance so quickly. More importantly, the combat power of the Wuxiang second heaven surpassed the Wuxiang realm and was comparable to the existence of the vassal realm, which made him think that the other party had definitely concealed his cultivation. I won't cheat you. I just reached the Wuxiang second heaven. You can't even beat me in the Wuxiang realm, and you still want to teach me a lesson, so are you making excuses for yourself? Qin Feng's mouth curved up, which made the other party look very ugly. Qin Feng, you have completely angered me. Wu Ling's face became more and more gloomy. His physique was extremely strong, and his cultivation reached the vassal realm. His wounds soon made crackling sounds, and his fractured arm healed, and there was no serious problem. However, Qin Feng injured his arm as soon as he started, which made him feel that he was provoked, especially when everyone around him saw him injured and showed a look of surprise on their faces, which made him even more embarrassed. Swish! Wu Ling moved his body, and the whole person flew into the air directly. A sword appeared in his palm, and he performed the famous swordsmanship of the Wu family. The 9 demon swords against heaven. The 9 demon swords against heaven, the first sword was used, a red sword light slashed forward, the void was instantly annihilated, and a terrifying crack appeared. Wu Ling, who was in the vassal domain, slashed out the 9 demon swords against heaven, which was really terrifying. This first sword made the space tremble. The terrifying sword light swept across the field, making some monsters and birds captured by Lan Yu and others feel the power of heaven on the spot, and all knelt on the ground, trembling. This is the famous sword technique of the Wu family, the 9 demon swords against heaven. According to rumors, my king is invincible with this sword technique. Once the 9 demon swords against heaven is out, even the cultivators of the 5th level of the vassal world can't stop it. The surrounding imperial city geniuses showed surprise in their eyes. Such a terrifying sword light was extremely sharp. Swish! In an instant, Qin Feng crossed the void, and the immortal step made his speed extremely fast, leaving a shadow on the spot. Wu Ling's 9 demon swords of heaven defying, the first strike slashed into the void, slashing on Qin Feng's afterimage, the blade light spread hundreds of meters into the distance, directly splitting a mountaintop, and the rocks piercing the clouds. Boy, You only know how to hide. Wu Ling sneered again and again. The other party was only at the realm of the second level of Wuxiang, but his body movements were so strange. However, in his opinion, this just verified his thoughts in his heart. The other party's cultivation was not enough. He could only rely on his strange body movements to dodge, and did not dare to compete with him head-on. Qin Feng stopped when he heard this. He smiled. With his strength, it was not difficult to deal with Wu Ling. He just wanted to test how extraordinary his Tianxian step was. Die. Seeing that his words made Qin Feng stop, at this moment, Wu Ling's face showed a ferocious killing intent, and he instantly performed the fourth move of the 9 demon swords of heaven, defying. The 4 blade lights merged into one in an instant, slashing over. The combined power made the heaven and earth tremble, and the terrifying light radiated in all directions. Even the cultivators of the first level of the feudal lords could hardly resist it. Phoenix dances in the sky. Qin Feng shouted softly, and performed a terrible and sharp killing move. The absolute immortal sword crossed the sky, and the sword energy slashed away. After being blessed by the 8 forbiddens, the power was extremely strong, which could be said to be extremely terrifying. In a split second, Wu Ling's 9 demon swords against the sky were dissolved by Qin Feng, and a wisp of his sword energy slashed forward, passing by Wu Ling's scalp, cutting off Wu Ling's hair, leaving a terrifying blood mark on his head. However, Wu Ling's vitality was extremely strong, and his cultivation reached the king body of the feudal lords. He stopped the blood on his head directly and was not injured at all. "Ah, I want you to die." Wu Ling couldn't accept it. He roared loudly, and as he moved, 6 after images were left in the void. The 6 residual images displayed the 6th move of the 9 heaven-defying demonic swords. All 6 figures used the magic swords, from the first move to the 6th move, turning him into a killing god, surrounding Qin Feng and slashing him. 6 terrifying sword beams slashed over, and the void spread endless ripples, and the world was shaking like a rag. Countless cultivators in the distance all showed surprise on their faces. Wu Ling's fighting power was fully activated, and the magic sword he displayed was too terrifying. If they faced him, they would definitely not be able to stop him. The women of the Suzaku Holy Land also showed horror on their faces. Such a terrifying power was simply stronger than all the enemies they had encountered, which frightened them. Facing the attack, a smile appeared on Qin Feng's face. The immortal sword floated around him, blooming with terrifying sword energy, and a small phoenix appeared extremely powerful. The phoenix danced in the sky for 9 days, and under the blessing of the 8 forbiddens, it transformed into a phoenix divine form, flowing out one after another terrifying sword light, showing a strangulating force, and slashed forward. Boom! In an instant, the 6 figures in the sky disappeared completely, unable to block Qin Fengguo's 9-day attack. Fengguo Jushin, who has been promoted to the advanced martial arts of Earth Immortal at this moment, is really overpowered and defeated. The existence of the 2 heavenly realms of the princes is facing each other, and there is no way to stop him. At this moment, using Qin Feng's Wuxiang second heaven level of cultivation, it can only be described as peerless terror. In an instant, Qin Feng neutralized the 6 moves of Wu Ling's heaven-defying 9 demon swords without causing any ripples at all. This scene made Wu Ling's expression extremely ferocious. Qin Feng easily neutralized his moves, which he couldn't accept. "Didn't you say that I can only hide? I stopped, but you can't, so you can only be incompetent and furious." Qin Feng laughed softly. He was teasing Wu Ling, who was on the 2nd level of the princes. He didn't take Wu Ling seriously at all. With his cultivation in the formless 2nd heaven, existences in the realm of princes rarely pose a threat to him. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fa Shi. Chapter 619. As the heir of a prince in the Yan Kingdom, Wu Ling can be called an invincible fighter among the younger generation. Even the most powerful geniuses in the Yan Kingdom dare not say they can defeat him. Even compared to some older figures, they are as different as clouds and mud. He is truly a talented person. But he had already used 6 forms of the heaven-defying 9 demon swords passed down by his family, but he couldn't defeat Qin Feng, which made him feel something was wrong. Brush, brush. Wu Ling did not believe in evil. He transformed into 7 figures in the void. These 7 figures all exuded a terrifying light. They were the 7th form of the heaven-defying 9 demon swords passed down from their family. Executing this 7th move will consume half of his divine power. He rarely uses it on weekdays. He once used this move to kill the enemies of the 3rd level of the princes. Cut! Wu Ling shouted loudly, and slashed forward with the sword in his hand again. The terrifying sword light radiated into the sky, and the overbearing and terrifying sword energy was each tens of feet long, reaching the sky and the earth. This terrifying power made countless monks feel the crisis. They were frightened, and they all saw a look of invincibility. It is worthy of the sword skills passed down from the ancestors of the Wu family. The 9 heaven-defying demon swords are so terrifying. It's really unimaginable. If they were all used, it would be so heaven-defying. Everyone around them was shocked. Wu Ling's terrifying threat was truly shocking. No wonder Wu Ling was so conceited. The other party was indeed proud of himself. As the talented monks of the imperial city of the Yan Kingdom, they have always been arrogant and arrogant. At this moment, facing Wu Ling's attitude, they had to admit that Wu Ling crushed them. If they were allowed to take Wu Ling's move, they would definitely not be able to stop it and would die under this magic sword in an instant. Good sword skills. Qin Feng whispered to himself softly, his expression still unchanged. Facing such a terrifying sword light, he was calm and fearless, without the slightest fear. The phoenix dances for 9 days. Qin Feng let out a soft roar again. His fiery eyes penetrated the void, and he could see every detail of the 6 sword lights between heaven and earth. The absolute immortal sword bloomed with dazzling light at this moment, and with the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, Feng Guiyujushan emitted endless blazing light, just like the incarnation of the god of fire in the world. Accompanied by a piercing cry in the void, the energy of Feng Guiyujushan filled the sky, and the terrifying pressure was released, making countless monks feel extreme fear, and their souls were trembling. At this moment, even the geniuses in the imperial city of Yan State were all frightened and trembling deep in their souls. Qin Feng's power was so powerful that it affected their minds and made them unable to resist. There were only a few people present who could withstand Qin Feng's terrifying pressure without affecting their souls. 2 huge phoenixes appeared in the sky, even bigger than the one Qin Feng had used the 8 precepts to cast just now. 2 huge phoenixes spread their wings and soared in the air, exuding extremely terrifying sword energy, and transformed into light sources between heaven and earth, illuminating everything. Phoenix dance in the 9 heavens, as the earth immortal superior martial skill, is performed with the blessing of the 9 forbiddens. It can be said to defy the heavens. When combined with Qin Feng's heavenly immortal steps, it is simply a god-stopping and killing god. This is the first time Qin Feng has used the Phoenix dance for 9 heavens since he broke through to the phaseless 2 heavens, which is 10 times higher than before. Coupled with nearly 100 times the energy blessing of the 9 forbiddens, the 2 phoenixes were connected together, with terrifying power, killing all obstacles in front of them. Puff! At this moment, Wu Ling was shocked. He used 7 sword lights to attack with all his strength, and finally he chopped one of Qin Feng's phoenixes to pieces. However, the other phoenix had already arrived in front of him, leaving him with no hope at all. Puff! The phoenix dancing for 9 days collided with Wu Ling's body, throwing away Wu Ling's treasured armor on the spot and destroying his body protecting aura. He flew high into the air and crashed into the mountains with a roar. It was completely submerged by the rocks. "Brother Qin, please show mercy. Don't kill him." At this moment, all the monks around were stunned. They watched Wu Ling being directly knocked away by Qin Feng, and their pupils shrank, as if they felt the same thing. When they saw that Qin Feng wanted to take action again and blast the mountain to pieces, they were all horrified. As a prince's heir, if Wu Ling died here directly, it would cause huge turmoil. After all, Wu Ling's father had a lot of troops. If he went crazy, the entire Yan kingdom would be in ruins. Master Qin is blessed with a good life. Please be merciful and don't kill him. Lan Yu also stepped forward to stop her. Her expression was extremely complicated. Although she didn't feel good about Wu Ling, but as heirs of the same princes, if Wu Ling was killed by Qin Feng and she didn't stop him at all, it is inappropriate both emotionally and rationally. Qin Feng stopped when he heard this. His sharp eyes had discovered that although Wu Ling was injured by him, at the last moment, a piece of jade on his body protected his life and prevented him from falling. Since Miss Lan personally pleads for him, then I will let him go. Qin Feng was not interested in Wu Ling's life, not to mention that he had many enemies, including Wu Ling. Wu Ling, who was soon buried among the mountains, was rescued by many monks. At this time, his face was pale and his whole body was in tatters. Of course, Wu Ling's vitality is also extremely strong. After enduring Qin Feng's Feng Guiyujushan's direct attack, he was still alive. This is enough to show his extraordinariness. A cultivator fed Wu Ling a pill, which saved his life and prevented him from losing his life. Your name is Wu Ling, right? Not long ago, I heard you say that you could kill me with a slap. What do you say now? Qin Feng said with a smile. He looked at Wu Ling with a burst of contempt in his eyes. Such a smile made Wu Ling extremely uncomfortable, but he had to admit that the gap between him and Qin Feng was like a chasm. I lost, completely lost. Wu Ling's expression was gloomy. He crushed Qin Feng with a great realm, but he ended up like this. It was really hard for him to accept it. He has always believed that he is stronger than the second prince Yan Yu, so when people compare him with Yan Yu, he is extremely disdainful. However, during this confrontation with Qin Feng, he couldn't even block a few of Qin Feng's moves, and his blocking time was not as long as Yan Yu's, which was enough to show the gap between him and Yan Yu. The only thing he was thankful for was that Qin Feng directly destroyed Yan Yu's cultivation, and although he was seriously injured, he could still recover after a period of recuperation. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 620. Wu Ling's chest rose and fell violently. If the jade on his body hadn't protected his life at the last moment, he would have been killed by Qin Feng's blow. Such terrifying combat power really frightened him. Until now, under the protection of all the masters, his body was still trembling uncontrollably. As the heir of the King of Yan, Wu Ling is a true genius. He faced Qin Feng with a great level, but ended up like this, which made him very uncomfortable. However, Qin Feng's power exceeded his expectations. The only thing he was thankful for was that he was not crippled like Yan Yu. It was impossible for him to stay in these mountains any longer. As he moved, he and a few close friends set off back to the imperial city. Originally, this gathering was a hunting trip for Wu Ling to cleanse himself from the dust. He completely lost his face, which made him unable to hold his head high among the monks. Countless monks here were stunned. The shock Qin Feng brought to them was really too shocking. Wu Ling, the peerless genius of the two princes, was easily defeated by Qin Feng, which let them know that the gap between them and Qin Feng was getting wider and wider. I am afraid that when what happened here spreads throughout the entire imperial city of Yan State, Qin Feng's reputation will once again shock the entire imperial city. Brother Qin's strength really convinces me. My little brother really admires Brother Qin. Lan Qi and Jin Ye all complimented with respectful expressions on their faces, saying that there was no room for them to be dissatisfied. As the sons of princes in the imperial city of the Yan Kingdom, they were the real geniuses. However, compared with Qin Feng, the two talented people are ashamed of themselves. They have been masters of the phaseless realm for a long time. Originally, their realm should crush Qin Feng's realm, but now Qin Feng has caught up to the phaseless realm in just a few dozen days, and the gap between them is rapidly narrowing. What's even more frightening is that the opponent's combat power has far exceeded theirs. Even the strong men in the realm of princes are no longer able to defeat the opponent's power. In response, Qin Feng smiled and nodded to the two of them. He defeated Wu Ling. This matter was bound to spread throughout the imperial city and attract Zhang Yan's attention, but he didn't care. If you go further, you will fall within the limits of the Suzaku Holy Land. You should disperse. Qin Feng glanced at all the monks around him. He smiled and said, "This is the sphere of influence of the Suzaku Holy Land. If these people gather here and do not report to the Suzaku Holy Land, the elders of the Suzaku Holy Land will definitely send people to expel them. Let's go, the protagonist of this incident has passed away, and this hunting party cannot go on." Lan Yu nodded when she heard the words. As a royal jewel in the imperial city and the organizer of this gathering, Lan Yu gave Qin Feng a slight salute. It is a worthwhile trip to see such a shocking battle. Many monks were talking about it. They stood up in the air, took the prey they had hunted, and left towards the distance. "Brother Qin, come and sit in our house when you have time, and let me show my kindness as a landlord." Lan Yu sent an invitation to Qin Feng. Qin Feng's peerless style shocked her. It would be unimaginable for such a person to be an enemy of the Yan Kingdom. It's easy to say. I will definitely visit Ian's house when I have time. Qin Feng cupped his hands towards Lan Yu and prepared to take the girls back to Suzaku Saint. Suddenly, Qin Feng, who was on the peacock's back, felt an extremely dangerous aura. His cultivation has reached the second level of the formless heavenly roar. The power of his soul is very powerful, and the monk's sixth sense is even more astonishing. This spiritual sense, the sudden warning, is not groundless, it is a reminder of the monk's powerful and extreme body. Buzz. For the first time, Qin Feng used the Divine King's vision and a huge golden bell to cover everyone. Although he has not yet discovered the enemy's specific location, it is enough to imagine that the opponent's concealment ability is very superb. Brush. Among the crowd, a fairy sword cut through the void, like a meteor, stabbing Qin Feng in front of him, and was stopped by his Divine King's vision. At this moment, Lan Yu and other monks who had not left were all stunned, and then there was a huge uproar. The monk who took action was hiding among the crowd. The other party's sudden action was just right, unexpected, and frightening. Zuck, Zhou Qing'er and others were all shocked. If Qin Feng hadn't immediately enveloped them with the Divine King's vision, they would have been seriously injured under this blow. The man missed a single hit and did not escape. He was seen through Xing Zhang by Qin Feng's fiery eyes. Countless monks around him were all like snakes and scorpions, running away into the distance with mysterious steps, instantly vacating that person. The person who came was wearing a black robe, and his attire was very similar to the killers from the Killer Dynasty that Qin Feng had seen before. "He's the killer of people." Ye Cheng exclaimed. Among their Killer Dynasty, the top killers were divided into three levels: the world and the people. The killers who can be named on the list are all outstanding and have very terrifying strength. Qin Feng could feel that the strength that the Renbang killer had just exploded was enough to reach the third level of the princes. If Ye Cheng and Suzaku and the others encountered them, they would definitely die without any chance of survival. Killing intent bloomed in Qin Feng's eyes. This killer on the list was extremely powerful. Among the Killer Dynasty, his strength should not be underestimated. Even if he was as powerful as Qin Feng, he could not have guessed that he would hide in the crowd. If his cultivation had not reached the realm of formlessness, and if his God King Vision golden bell cover had not become stronger, he might have been in danger just now. Chi. The assassin on the human list was even more terrifying than the assassin from the God dynasty that Qin Feng had met before. The other party instantly merged with the sword and crossed the void. In an instant, the man came in front of Qin Feng, and with the killing sword in his hand, he pointed at the front of Qin Feng. This attack was too swift, and the sword energy rushed, breaking through the surface with a point, and pierced Qin Feng's God King Vision golden bell cover. Ding! A crisp sound transmitted power. At this moment, even Qin Feng's God King Vision golden bell cover, which reached the power of the upper level of the earthly immortal, could not stop this attack. The reason was naturally because Qin Feng's God King Vision golden bell had to protect Zhou Qing'er and Zuck, covering a distance of dozens of meters, and the energy became weak. The assassin of the Killer God dynasty, with the immortal sword in his hand, tapped Qin Feng's God King Vision golden bell cover. The golden bell cover was like glass, covered with spider web-like cracks, and shattered in an instant.